and they're not good.
Why?
And nanny go do.
Bros,
how are you this afternoon? Why your body they pepper you like that? Body they pepper me. Small no, you want to behave like a man. Why?
Oh no, I'm just crashing on the person.
I beg, Kini, let's go.
Hi Rashida, good afternoon. Yeah, the reason we are arguing currently.
Guy come do things. But on a more serious note,
nah.
like I was saying on air, and I was telling you, like, when I turn off the microphone, it's really interesting that we're having this particular topic. Now, bringing up a child for me, hey, no dig home like that.
I know.
Hey.
I know.
And not fem cry. It's not easy because, like I keep saying, and somebody saying, nice saying the same thing. It doesn't come with a manual. It's just nice when a baby comes out and you're so excited. But when they become one day, they don't do much. But from the naughty 2s and 3s, hey!
I have a lot at home.
There are some people who went through a different phase. There are people who didn't go through any phase at all. And they're still, because they have kids that are calm and stuff. But if you have a kid that you come one day, he's climbing the wardrobe.
Spider-Man.
He's climbing, the shelves in the wardrobe. Yeah, I came to meet Liam when he was 3, climbing it. Me. I just shouted, hey, Papa!
No,
you know where he was? The top part. He had gotten there.
Wow.
It's not like I'd hidden something that he was going to, like, Eshajeme will do as a Spider-Man.
Oh, I can relate because I think when we're kids, so at my grandmother's place, we have a shop there, and this olden way where they lock the shops with this metal thing with holes in them. I used to climb them, like I can climb to the last part, the top part of it, and I'll be hanging from there and be screaming my mom in the house to see where I am. Like,
oh, I bet you thought you had done the best thing in the entire world. No,
I think currently sometimes when I go there, I'm tempted to climb again. Like,
are you okay?
I don't know, but I still.
Dude, you're grown. Stop these things.
It's fun.
You see, the funny part is, as a mother, your first instinct is to pick you, like because do you know what we went through in pushing you out? Your big head.
Yeah, but
it's funny right now. But you see, the first thing that you think about as a parent is, so for the men are more calm, the fathers, but for the mothers, you see all sorts of disastrous things within 5 seconds. 5 seconds even too much. Within a second, you have seen your life flashing before your eyes, and you are shouting unnecessarily. Not unnecessarily, but to you it means something. And the kid doesn't understand, and they are laughing because they think they're having fun. But meanwhile, you're having a heart attack, a very mild one.
The adrenaline rush, and
the
joy seeing yourself high, hanging up there, looking down at everybody.
See, girls, some of the girls are quite cool. When you have a daughter, sometimes if you have a daughter like me, if you had me, because sporty. No, I grew up in a. Thank you, but I'm grateful that I have a daughter who's so calm and collected.
That's why you have Liam, who is doing.
Yes, I have my son who teaches me lessons every single day, and then has my blood pressure going up into different distant dimensions that I didn't even think that existed. But he's calming down, and in the process of calming down,
it's been work.
Hey,
and it's still work.
Hey. No, all the the boy moms, and I need help me, give me, I'm grateful to have, you have wonderful colleagues here where you throw them off, bounce such things off them, and then they'll advise you, because this saying, it takes a village, it takes a community, it takes a nation. You can't do it on your own. So somebody has a blueprint in bringing up a very good boy or bringing up a calm gentleman. You speak to them. You bounce off ideas. They teach you, they give you a few pointers here and there, and you see it working. But what do you think about me, Mompande? The Kenny Mompande, I was traumatized growing up with it. So, I use a cane to just, scare them in their faces, but to hit them with this Mompande. No, but I would scream at you.
Yeah, now I think I was telling Nana Kwame off air that the Canaan bit is what has made a lot of us timid. Because at every point in our lives, with the least thing that you do, this old folks brings up canes and they are lashing you here and there.
Cane, bells, bankuta.
Like, I remember my mother used to beat me with, there used to be a slippers called Weedies.
Where'd you Weedies?
This slippers with the thick underpart. To beat me with those things and all that. Like, my dad, growing up, I don't remember my dad has beaten any of us. No. Mm-hmm. He would just scream at you,
No.
But my mom, she has a place she used to hide the kids. Sometimes I think we take the kids and then we chop them into pieces and throw them away, that kind of thing. But she always replace them.
I think I have a friend whose mom had a cane in every different parts of. Nana Kwame's mom had a cane for every part of the house. So anywhere she is, she can reach and lash you with it.
And the funny thing, when you go to school also, you have teachers, senseless, sorry to use that word, but you have teachers who, they don't even beat you maybe at your back or on your buttocks or on your palm, but they are just beating everywhere because you're afraid of the cane and you don't want to take the cane. It's not like you don't want to, but you're afraid. And at the sight of the cane, even, I don't know if going through this thing, Monday morning mental, you know the answer. But at the sight of the cane,
it wasn't necessary.
You become timid. It looks like you lose your thought process. You don't even know what to say. Meanwhile, if the teacher should be calm and ask you in a calm manner, 3 times 3 is what? You thought the answer.
I hated math. Trust me.
Yes.
It was when I got to secondary school, high school, ours was secondary, that I realized that actually not mini math.
Yeah, but because of the way they went about it,
I hated it. It was a friend of mine, Akusia Dampoe. I really appreciate this girl. She was sitting next to me. She took her time in breaking the whole thing down, and I realized that math isn't that bad. Like, I actually do like math. Because of her, I like math.
Indian videos where
and
kids
Chinese
are
videos,
easily solving maths with some creative methods. I'm asking myself, why are teachers not doing it this way? But I'll come to the class wielding some big canes. Sometimes they soak them in water. Others have plastered the tip.
Oh,
like why? They took delight in torturing us.
No,
they thought they were correcting us, but they were rather taking us through a torturous process.
Yeah,
trying to kill our confidence and what have you.
Yeah.
Yes, you grew up in a home where they believe in spare the rod, spoil the child. But times have changed. Things have changed. It doesn't mean that as you go on, you should still apply the same old method. Evolve. There are so many ways to talk to kids or punish kids right now. You can take away something they love.
Oh, yeah.
You can seize their toys. You can stop them from accessing their favorite food or what have you.
Ajeli.
Like, there are so many ways to just rein them in instead of beating them up and down. You are killing their confidence. Ask yourself, if you are not gone through the process you went through, maybe yes, you might turn out better. But if you are not gone through that, you might have been better than you are now.
Yeah.
That caning that your mom or your dad caned you has sort of killed something in you. And that's the same thing that you're trying to transfer onto your kids.
So I agree with what you're saying, because you realize that at some point when you're growing up, taking some bold steps become very difficult.
Yes.
And then it affects people long term in relationships where you know deep down that your mother is wrong with the way they're treating your spouse. But because of that fear from the beginning that has been instilled in you, you can't stand on 10 toes and say no. Like, I don't do this, or I'm not taking it. So that fear is still in you, and then your parents do things that aren't right to somebody else that is supposed to be your partner. Sometimes parents have done certain things. They've taken advantage of that particular situation that they did. Like, they know that no matter what, you're respectful towards them, you won't go against them. And then they do what they want in your life and try to
manipulate you.
Yeah. Like, without them, whether it's intentional or not, they've been able to do that, and then they have you at a finger snap.
On the leash.
They know that, you won't shout back, this is my child, they don't talk, but what if I say they'll do? But at some point, that kind of thing, it takes something away from you. You're not bold enough to take certain decisions on your own. You feel like, can I do it? You're not empowered enough. That's why sometimes we feel that the Gen Zs are too bold than we are. They don't care. No, they don't. But I think that is what they didn't have to go through. So they don't understand we, the Gen X. Is it Gen X or what are we? Millennials. They don't get us. Because your parents
millennials should be the 2000s.
Millennials. Me, I don't even know which is which. Because I know my kids are Generation Alpha.
Yeah, millennials should be the 2000s.
Okay, so they don't get those from the 2000s to the 1985s and stuff like that, because my mother would scare the bejesus out of you. Though she would scare Jesus into your life. When she slaps you, wake up in 2 weeks' time. You understand me?
I remember when I failed back in primary school. I failed my exam scores between the two of us, sort of like a competition. And I'm that person that when any of my sisters come last, or maybe it's supposed to be first to third, and I always want to be at the first position. So if you go anything below third, I'm going to let everybody know that you failed. And
that's you failing?
One time I failed.
Oh, wow.
And my mother was like, yes, your father is going to kill you. So that day, I decided in my mind that during that vacation, I'm not going to move to them. I'm going to stay with my grandmother. Fortunately, when the house and then the car pops up and then like, yeah, that's my dad.
Come to pack
My
again.
God, I'm dead.
Wow.
So I ran into the room, locked myself up. I was like, no, I'm not going to do anything. Yes, you failed, but you can bounce back. You are crying and you're afraid because that's what you do to your sisters, so you don't want to go through it.
Yeah.
You get it? That thing alone sort of made me realize that failure is part of life.
Yeah.
And what you do after failing is what that matters.
Mm-hmm.
It came with a cousin who was coming from the States by then. My cousin was like, is that how you guys raise kids here? She embraced me, and the love and affection I felt made me realize that, yes, as a kid or as a child, you are allowed to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But the way your parents bring you back onto track matters.
Very, very important.
If they had beaten me, I don't think it would have changed anything. It would have rather made me get used to beatings. And I'll be like, okay, after all, when I fail, they're
They'll
going to
just
beat
beat
me.
me and that's it. Just one night.
Yes. But they showed me love. They made me realize that failure is part of life and you can always bounce back. Yeah. And I bounced back.
Mm-hmm. See, for what you're saying, I've taken a lot out of it, and a lot of people might not get it, but some would get it. But at a 3-year-old is just too early to be using a cane. You can scare the child with the fact that I'll lash you with a cane, but then you need to talk to the child and let the child know that what they did was wrong, and so punishment. See, I've seen people ask, how people's kids draw on their walls. Like, you freshly painted your walls, and your kids from within 2 to 3 to 5 years, they use your walls as their
joypad.
Their how do I say, their table, their blackboard, because that's what they see in school. Let me tell you what we did with Liam. He decided to write on the walls. Then we put soapy water and a sponge in a pail for him. He was 4, and asked him to scrub the walls. What he had done with the crayon. The boy never wrote on the wall. It didn't go away. But trust me, that boy never went back on the walls to draw on the walls again until he became 5. He stopped it. Because you have those boards, those kiddie ones that you can wipe it off. Yes, you have that, but he said that he wanted to use crayons on the wall.
Wanted a bigger
we just put soapy water in a pail, gave him a sponge. He was at one location for like 30 minutes. The boy, for him, it was like a lifetime because he was crying. The thing wasn't going, and he was sorry about what he did. But that's an example of he not going back. This weekend, we had a conversation about something. He did wrong. I was mad about it. I screamed a bit, and he said, you know what? I'm going to punish you. Took away his tablet from him. Simple. And punished him. He swept the entire house. He swept the entire house. His sister also did something wrong. Her tablet has been taken for 2 weeks. He's there until I decide I'll give it back to him because I'm talking to you, you're still playing video game on your phone. What kind of disrespect is that? And then he hit his sister too in the process. 2 crimes. In my house, it's a crime. You don't hate her.
He begs.
Yeah. Oh no. Right now,
Big brother begs on his behalf. Yeah, no, but punish him, but it shouldn't be. The tablet. Indefinite.
No, but the tablet. I'm still deciding. So right now, if you pick yourself up, this morning he did something good. You understand me? So it's redemption. It's how
he has to redeem himself.
Yes. So then I just pop up and say, "Yo, have your tablet back." You get me? But it's a lesson. And yesterday he took it serious, swept the house, did what he had to do, and you see, how do I? He was fast, as a Ghana person would say. He felt clear, and he was cleaning it up, and he was, he felt good. He told me he felt good.
And now, one thing that I think we didn't get in the past that some parents are doing presently, rewarding kids for doing good.
Yeah.
I know currently most parents reward their kids with treats and what have you for every milestone they achieve. I think that in itself sort of builds their confidence.
Yeah.
That in itself makes them realize that doing bad stuff isn't good.
Yeah.
But for every good thing I do, I'm going to get rewarded. They are going to do more of those good things than the bad things. And so instead of caning the child, why don't you implement a reward system?
Yeah.
Where for every good thing that they do, for every nice thing that you feel that, this they're going out of their way to do, you reward them with something. Maybe you take them out to their favorite restaurant, make them have access to something that you've withdrawn from them and what have you.
Yeah.
Those things builds them up psychologically. It makes them realize the importance of hard work and what have you.
Yeah.
Rather than beating them with canes, trying to scare them away. No.
It doesn't work.
Find an alternative to it. Instead of using the cane as a corrective measure, why don't you use reward rather as a corrective measure?
Yeah.
Where for every good thing they do, you reward them.
I agree with you because the caning kind of pushes you away from your
Yes, it makes them resent you because at the sight of their mother or the father, they become afraid, they become timid, they are not able to voice out. Even if somebody is doing something to them or they are going through something, they are not going to tell you because you become that monster. you are the face of like that scary dream they have. At the sight of you, they are shrinking and they're trying to like what do you call it? Vanish from the surface of the earth.
And that's not fair. He's just 3. He's too young to
too
be
young for you to
use
take
a
them
cane.
through this process.
But I need people to remember this. You see, our kids watch what we do. They don't listen to. So if you're doing what you're telling him or her, they will follow suit.
Yeah.
But if you're telling them something and you're doing a different thing, lie, they never go do. They will do exactly. It's do as I do for children. Yeah. They're like sponges. So if you say insulting words, they'll pick it up from you. If you want them to wash their plates when they finish eating, they watch you to do it. If you want them to clean up after themselves, they watch what you do and they do exactly the same thing. Because when you ask kids, like, how does mommy put on her cream in the morning, they'll give you detail on what you do with your makeup and everything. They are watching you closely. Yeah. So it's not, and at 3, they are very adventurous. So you have to help with it. In your play with them, you help out. Because catching 9 and 10 pound there, hey, the things I go to, hey, sometimes I sit down and ask me, am I doing the right thing? I ask other people. Yeah. Am I doing the right thing? Shout in Mumpa there, you shout sometimes because you'll be scared about certain things that they'll do. But the king Mumpa there, I think it's not the right way to go.
We were, our generation were different, like the terrain way in which we found ourselves and the conditions and everything were way different than what we are witnessing now.
But let me ask you something before we wrap up. The caning, no? Were you able to confide in your parents?
No.
It's just for them.
There's no way. Like I don't remember going to my mother.
I couldn't possibly tell my mom, hey mom, I have a crush on this.
It's just recently that I started talking to them and I started opening up to my mom about certain things about my life. But like, I don't think I can't walk to my mom back then.
Like the way, the young generation right now can tell you, oh, this person is cute.
Yes.
Oh, for you to go and say, oh, I think this guy is. Hey.
Even when they're watching a movie and there's a kissing scene, like they're going to tune off or.
This is what you do. I remember watching Baby Thief. And then the woman was standing in the middle of the room so upset. I remember that scene so clearly. When it came on, the man jumped on the woman. I just covered my eyes because I was sitting with... We gave my mom a nickname. We started calling her Chief Warden. God, we so scared of my mom. There's certain things that as we're going, she withdrew from doing. So you also have to pick the lessons from your growing up. And then see how the world is going now. And then work with. But you need to work with your wife. Because your kid will end up talking to her more and leaving you out.
Yeah.
And that bonding between you and your wife, between you and your kid, is gone. And it will ruin your relationship with your wife. You have to be on the same. The cane in Mompa dear bra.
It's not a good idea. Like,
no.
Drop it. Drop that archaic mentality. Like
no.
Times have changed. Yeah. Things have changed. Like adapt to the new way of doing things and your new reality that you find yourself in.
There's a whole lot of psychological problems that come with the beating. That's why most of the schools these days
don't allow caning.
Yeah, GES stopped it, right? Yeah, they put this thing onto it. So there's no need in beating people anymore. He's 3, too early. Now 3 could cry. Isn't this how we do to our hands like this? Then we beat you like this. Even now I'm crying, sir. Yeah. You scared the child.
Take away. Don't let him he or she play.
Go to the naughty corner.
Yeah, go and hide your face in the naughty corner. Mrs. Wellington will let you go and hide your face somewhere. When she teaches, once in a while, she come and lash the back of your ears. And she'll leave you there.
Miss Lucy, go and hide in the corner. Then you'll be sitting there. You can't see that, and your friends are watching cartoons. You can hear it all, but you can't see it. Next time, you don't do that again. You hear Cocomelon, only you are in the corner, you're crying because you can't watch Cocomelon. Isn't that what a 3-year-old watch? Yeah. Cocomelon, yeah.
So just use those
and take Cocomelon away from them.
Yeah, take those things, like their favorite food. Things they love, just seize those things when they misbehave.
Yeah.
And stop going the route of caning them. You are diminishing their confidence.
No, you don't do that. 3, I understand you, but spare the rod and spoil the child, Pandy. There are so many ways you can do it. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Charlie, children, dear, bringing up a son, we should have a conversation on that. Of course. I need a whole tutorial because still, I know they sit up. Crap. Because now we just catch 9. So as he catch 10, 11, 12, how good do I? Hey!
You take it a day at a time.
Kenny?
A day at a time.
All the men, please. I thank Papa Bills and the rest for the ideas, the stuff, and things. But because he's my very good friend. Like my son is my friend.
Yeah.
Like my homeboy. Come ask me, baby, where you going with?
Now, what's the name of the Muslim girl?
Is that what?
What's the name of the Muslim girl? The last caller.
Please, the men, we need to sit down so we have that conversation, bringing up a man. Because I've been told that there's this controversial conversation I had with a friend who believes that single mothers are not best suited to bring up a male child. So I think that conversation should be had. It's controversial, but I think we should have it so women can understand and know where we are. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us.